Today, we're excited to share with you why so many people are moving to this Olympia suburb.
Now, when we use the word suburb, it really is because most people are familiar with that term. However, Olympia really doesn't have any suburbs. It's more over three little cities that are all connected together. However, Lacey has a lot going on that's actually driving more overall growth in the region than Olympia.
In fact, last year, Lacey hit over 60,000 people who lived in the area, and Olympia compares to that at about 57,000.
And overall, the net migration in Thurston County is nearly 3,500 people in the last year. So it is a growing regional area, and Lacey obviously is leading the charge.
So since Lacey seems like such a desirable place to live, you're probably wondering why? Why are people moving here?
And what to expect if you decide to move here. What type of home could you get for your money, and how far does it go?
And what are the things you're going to enjoy doing while you're living here?
We're Joe and Charity, local real estate agents, and we help people just like you every week who are considering moving to the area or moving around the region find the perfect place that fits for them and their goals.
In this video, we're going to explore all of these questions while we're doing a driving tour. We are going to take you from the southernmost tip to the northernmost tip of Lacey, so you know everything there is to know about the area. So I'd say jump in the car with us, let's go, but we're already in the car, so keep coming along with us. So first of all, as we promised, we're going to tell you what makes Lacey so desirable. There are four main reasons why Lacey is so desirable.
One of them is, and this is kind of unique, 20% of all the landmass is designated to recreational areas for people. Now that is fantastic because most cities don't put that much intention on the people who are living there with making sure that they have good space for outdoor activities. But Lacey has, and it's fantastic.
And we know that if you're moving to the Pacific Northwest, one of the main reasons you're coming here is because you want that nice, treed, beautiful Northwesty outdoor feel, and Lacey provides that for you.
Another reason why people move to the area because of its proximity to the military base and its proximity to Tacoma. So it's very convenient if you happen to be in the military. Matter of fact, a lot of our clients who are in the military find this area to be very desirable.
Yeah, and if you are consider going to Tacoma maybe for work or just because you want to be close to a bigger city, in the Thurston County area, Lacey is going to be the closest to anything north. So that is also a really great reason why people move to the area.
Yeah, and then just in case you like one of the Seattle Mariners or the Seattle Seahawks, neither one of them are in the playoffs. I think this is pretty much an ongoing conversation you'll hear me say, but that's okay. We still love our, well, kind of Mariners. Another reason why people love moving to Lacey is because it's more affordable than it is actually in Olympia. The average price in Olympia is about $610,000, and the average price in Lacey is $540,000. Now that's fantastic, especially when you make a comparison to a city like Seattle, where it is literally almost half the price of a home versus Seattle. So affordability in a Northwest home, this place has got it for you.
And the fourth reason why this is such a desirable area to move to is Lacey is pro-development and pro-business. In fact, if you stick around, you are going to get the inside scoop from an insider with a special interview that we will be doing, and you don't want to miss out on that. Those are some great reasons why people are moving to Lacey, and if you're still intrigued and you want to keep finding out more about Lacey, then here we go on our tour from the south to the north. We are currently in Horizon Pointe neighborhood. This borders the southernmost border of Lacey, and this neighborhood is a neighborhood that is pretty typical in this part of Lacey where the homes were built around the 2000s, more of an HOA style neighborhood. And in this neighborhood, you're going to get houses around that $500,000 price point, maybe up to $600,000. In fact, there was one that recently sold in this area for $515,000. It was built in 2008, over 2,200 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, just a nice, quaint family home, and this area is actually really quaint. Beautiful treed streets, parks in the neighborhood. It's a great neighborhood to live in if you want to live on the south side of Lacey.
What is also interesting to note in this area, there are condos and townhomes, and those start even closer to the $300,000 price point. So depending on what you're looking for, it is pretty budget friendly, and you should be able to find something that fits your needs.
One other thing that's just a little added bonus is the Amtrak train station is really close. In fact, just right around the edge of this neighborhood. So if you want to take it up north to Seattle or Bellingham or any of those areas, your access is going to be fantastic. So moving along from here, we are going to head to Capital City Golf Course. Now, Lacey does have quite a few golf courses, which adds to that green space that we were talking about. If you're looking for affordable golf course living, this is the spot for you. The homes in this area were built closer to like the 60s, 70s, 80s, and they're really, really affordable. In fact, one just sold this last year for $535,000, backed up right to the golf course, and it's a really quaint little rambler.
Yeah, matter of fact, that happened to be one of my clients, was the ones that did that. And besides for being amazing, wonderful people, which most of my clients are, it is a wonderful location. You get a meander. It's a retirement community for them, although this is not a 55+ community. It just fits the lifestyle that they're looking for.
Yeah, so besides this golf course, there's actually Indian Summer Golf Course, which is an Olympia address, but it is only minutes away from this golf course. So if you're living in this area, then you're going to have the opportunity to golf in multiple areas, just hop, skip, and a jump away. From Capital City Golf Course, we are going to take you to Rainier Vista Community Park. This is a primary park in the Lacey area. This park gets used for baseball games and soccer games and picnics and birthday parties and just walking the dog. It is a really great park. And in the summer, it's where the 4th of July fireworks are held.
So most homes are built in 1990 or newer, which is fantastic because it's going to give you some options of homes that have maybe been redone or potentially something that you could put your own sweat into. So if that's something that's important to you, you can keep this area in mind.
For example, a recent home that sold in this area sold for $435,000, so very affordable, under the average for the area. It was around 1,300 square feet, built in 1994, but a really cute house, and of course, really close to the park, so it's a great location at an affordable price. And besides homes that are in like that $400,000 price point, you're gonna find quite a few homes in the $500,000 price point that are pretty typical to the ones that we just saw in the Horizon Point neighborhood. From Rainier Vista Park, we are now headed to two places that are right next to each other, Thurston County Fairgrounds and also Long Lake Community Park. Now, we're not gonna go to the fair because it's not fair season, but when it's fair season, there's a lot to do and see there, and of course, there's events that go on all the time. And Long Lake Community Park is also a really great place to spend your time in the summers.
What is great about this location is there's over 280 feet of beach. So that is just wonderful for you to go down, set up shop, look over the water, play in the water. It is one of the best places, and Lacey will tell you it is the best swimming area in all of the Lacey area. So you're gonna go ahead and go there and make up your own mind on that because we want you to discover it. But it is really fantastic and a wonderful place to hang out for the day for sure.
They've got sand volleyball courts and picnic areas and trails and all the things that you could imagine doing on a summer day when it's time to jump in the water and cool off.
What you're gonna find in this area is homes built between the 60s up to the 90s, and there's new construction pockets in the middle of that as well. But just to let you know, this is an area potentially, once again, that you can find something that has maybe some work that needs to be done to increase the value of it, a little bit of sweat equity, or you could find something that's a little bit bigger lots because homes in that area had a little bit larger lots that you can find that's important to you.
Yeah, and another thing that you're gonna find is some waterfront property on the lake. So Long Lake actually borders right around Lacey. Lacey has the park, but the rest of the lake is in Olympia. But actually Hicks Lake is right next to it in Lacey. And then there are quite a few other lakes. So take a look at a map and see how many lakes are in the Lacey Olympia area, and there are so many. So if you're looking for a waterfront lake property, this is an area that you're gonna be able to find one. In fact, one sold this last year for $990,000. It's a beautiful home. I actually showed it to some of my clients, and unfortunately, we didn't get this one. It had a beautiful outdoor space, a beautiful indoor space, over 3,300 square feet. It was built in 1986, but it had all been updated, so it looked newer than that. And it was really a beautiful home that I'm sorry my clients missed out on. But besides that, you're gonna be able to find some older homes on the lake. This area was developed actually quite a while ago, and so there are some homes that still do need fixing up on the lake, but you can find bargains and then you can find the ones that have already been fixed up. But if you're looking for lakefront property, this is the spot for you. Next, we are going to take you to what has been most recently named Midtown Lacey.
Yes.
There was no name for this part. We've got South Lacey, we've got the Hawks Prairie Meridian campus area, but this area in Central Lacey is now called Midtown, and it has a lot going on.
It really does. Yep. St. Martin's is a private Catholic college, and it's a really wonderful school. Matter of fact, our daughter-in-law went there and had a wonderful experience, and other kids that we know are playing baseball in their program. It's a fantastic school for sure.
They open up up their space for events as well. And so high school graduations are there, as well as the Lacey Spring Fair is located in that area. So all the things that kids like, cotton candy and rides and all the things that make you sick, that happens in that area.
However, things that won't make you sick is my favorite little Thai restaurant is there. So if you like green curry, I think this has got the best green curry in Lacey, Olympia, Tumwater area in its entirety. It's quite delightful.
And we're gonna shout out, it's Jasmine Thai. Way to go, Jasmine Thai. Of course, in this area, we've got lots of other restaurants and shopping. I know most of you moms out there are frequent visitors to some place called Target or Target. And this is where the Lacey Target is, as well as other stores like Marshall's and Kohl's and Michael's and some of those stores that get frequented quite regularly.
Fred Meyer is also in there.
Oh yeah, Fred Meyer's, we gotta do some grocery shopping.
Gotta do grocery shopping. If you're not from the Northwest, Fred Meyer's basically, it's a catch-all store, but it has good groceries. That's where most people utilize it, but it does have clothing and other options as well.
Yep. And if you're doing all your errands in the area and you need to go to the library, this is where the public library is as well. So you can get a lot done in this area.
And just in case donuts are your favorite things, House of Donuts is a place that I would say frequent. I don't know how occasionally, but it does happen multiple times a year that we'll end up over there for donuts. So that's important to you. That's one of the best places in the area to get them.
Another thing that's important to note is that Huntermore Park is in this area, and Huntermore Park hosts a lot of the events that happen in Lacey, from the barbecue festival in the summer to the Christmas lighting ceremonies that happen, of course, at Christmas time. If you look at the calendar, you will find out that there are so many things happening right here in Midtown in Lacey. Another really cool thing that Lacey has is the Lacey Makerspace. Lacey Makerspace is just what it sounds like. It's a place to go and make things. So if you don't want to spend the money to buy all the tools that you would need to do, say, a welding project or a woodworking project or a pottery project or whatever, you can do it at the Lacey Makerspace. They have classes and then they have availability for you to just use the tools. So that is one really fantastic thing that Lacey has going for it. There's also a couple great coffee shops in this Midtown area. Fog and Fern is one of them, and one of our favorites is also Ebony and Ivory.
Now in the Midtown area, most of your homes that were built are somewhere between the 50s and the 90s. It really is one of the older parts of Lacey, and with that, you're going to find a wide variety of affordability. Some of them are going to be redone, some of them are going to need to be redone. Regardless of what you're looking for, it's a great area, super convenient to anything that you would want to get to in a hurry.
Yeah, in fact, if you are looking for a rambler with a larger lot, this is an ideal area because back then the homes were built on larger lots and a lot of the homes were built as ramblers. A lot of new construction now is built up to save on space and on small lots, but this is an area that you can get a little bit of space around you. In fact, one that recently sold in this area sold for $495,000. It was a 1955 home, but a lot of things had been updated on it, and it was a really great property. So this is an example of something that you can find in this area. From the Midtown area, we're going to be taking you up Martin Way, and not to be confused with Marvin Way, which is very confusing even if you've lived here for a long time, especially because they intersect. And we're headed to the RAC, which is the Regional Athletic Center.
This is a place that I have, I would say, a lot of experience at watching baseball games for endless hours on weekends over the years. But it really is a nice park. There's a great play area that has covered benches and where you can barbecue, and there's soccer and there's softball. They're actually looking to, in the next few years, potentially develop more area around this. So it's even going to be a larger complex, which is fantastic because outdoor activities in the Northwest just kind of go hand in hand.
In this area of Lacey, you're going to find homes that are somewhat similar to the areas that we just left, where you've got homes from the 1960s to kind of the 1990s, but then there are pockets of newer homes. For example, there was one that just sold this last year that was $585,000. It was built in 2021. It was over 2,300 square feet and 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, so really great home. But besides that, you're going to be looking at homes that are in the $400,000 to the $600,000 price range in this area. And just like the other areas, as Joe mentioned, you'll be able to get something that needs a little bit of fixing up if you're looking for a budget-friendly home or something that's already done for you.
Now here to my left, which is no longer here, it used to be called Mushroom Corner. There was actually a mushroom farm. It really did affect the home prices in the area because of the smell with regards to the processing of them all. However, unless you're a mushroom fan, thanks goodness, it has gone away. And it is no longer, it's actually the Tri-Cities area, and they're looking to develop this. It has completely changed the dynamic, and a lot of people in this community have appreciated the home appreciation that happened once the mushroom farm left.
Yes, they have. And stinky is kind of an understatement, and especially in the summer, it was pretty
Could
stinky.
be rough at times, depending on which way the wind's blowing.
It was hard to sell a home in this area, so people are definitely grateful that this is no longer the mushroom farm. From the rack, we're gonna just drive towards Meridian Campus and Hawks Prairie, and when we get there, we are going to make that special stop that we told you about with our special guest. But on the way, you're gonna notice we're going to pass some very important stores, which are
Costco. And there's also a Walmart there, but there's also Costco.
You also got Home Depot,
Yep.
and you've got Ulta, and you've got a lot of stores, restaurants, coffee shops. So if you're buying in this area, you're gonna be really close to all the important stores. All right, we're just about to pull up to our special guest's office, and just to give you a heads up, this is somebody that's going to know more about Lacey than practically anybody you run across.
He is truly an insider, and he is an insider because he happens to be the deputy mayor of Lacey.
All right, here we go.
So, special cool guest here with me is my friend Malcolm Miller, and what's great about him is, besides being a friend, he is also the deputy mayor of Lacey. So I feel like sometimes that makes me feel important. I know that's actually not true.
You are important.
I'm important in and of myself. Yeah, thank you. However, he's going to tell us a little bit about what's happened to Lacey and why it's such a big deal and people are moving here.
Okay. One of the things that people really like about Lacey is our park system. So we have fantastic parks. We have 29 parks for 60,000 people.
There's one a day. I just planned your month for you. Every day for a month, a new park, and you're welcome. First of the year, we're all getting in shape.
We have probably the lowest tax rate and structure in the county.
Nice, we like that, low taxes.
In addition to that, we're right now building a new police station and a new training center. And to get those two things done, we did not have to raise a single tax.
See, this is why I like this guy. He and I have a similar thing of like, let's not raise the taxes, even though there's a little bit in government, which always makes me nervous, but not with this guy.
So good things happening.
Good things happening. So what would somebody want to know? Like if I was talking to somebody that has never been up in the Northwest, why South Sound, why Olympia, Lacey, Tumwater area? What's the big draw of this?
You're smack dab in the middle between Portland and Seattle. So you've got that going for you either direction. You're going to be there in roughly the same amount of time. Interestingly enough, Portland is further in distance, but about the same in time.
Yeah.
And so you are literally right outside of JBLM and you're right outside of the city of Tacoma. So, and then within Thurston County, our service level is pretty high. And we're just right on I-5.
Yeah, you love it from there. And one of the things I think is interesting about Lacey, and that's a draw, is also like the pro-business stance that you guys are doing. Talk just a second about that.
So literally developers come to us and say, hey, if you annex that property into the city of Lacey, we'll develop that property. Because our permit process, our economic development department is so business friendly that a lot of people would rather develop with the city of Lacey than anywhere else.
Yeah, and that's amazing. It's amazing. So if you're thinking to yourself, I'd like to move there as a developer, we now know a person for you to connect to. I mean, we knew it already, but now you know. So kind of like, and I know you're really not an insider because you're just too natural, a good dude. However, as a little bit of an insider, what would be something we should know that would maybe help inform our decisions if we were thinking about, relocating to Lacey?
If you're thinking about relocating to Lacey, know that some of the things that are super important to us as a city is our roads. Okay, so our road index is usually typically above 89 or 90, which a lot of cities can't say that. So
they do not. If you're not from the Northwest at all, you're going to wonder, like, why is that a big rock? Once you get here, you'll know why that's a very important thing.
And one of the other things is we really do try to work with the other jurisdictions. In fact, we all meet every other month. So we call it the Three Cities Meeting. The county is there as well. And a lot of the things that we try to do as a group, as opposed to trying to be some kind of lone rangers in our county or in our state. So we try to work with the other jurisdictions. We've really got a handle on the homelessness situation, thanks to the right-of-way dollars. We just try to make sure that you know, we're not out there trying to be the Lone Ranger, getting as much group activity as possible. But where we can't, we definitely do not mind leading the way.
Now, here's the cool thing that we want you to know. Not only is he the deputy mayor of Lacey, he is also one of the lenders that we love to partner with because he does such a great job and has been with just, I don't know, probably hundreds of our clients over the last several years, and it's been fantastic to work with him. So I'm really grateful that he is both an insider into Lacey, but he's also just a wonderful human being and a very good lender. So if you're looking for someone to partner with to help you get in a next home, here's somebody we really would love you to consider.
I became a loan officer in 2001.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So just
November
recently.
2001, just recent.
Yeah.
Yep, brand new. And so having put together just a multitude of deals over, you know, a couple decades, having seen a lot, and here at Cross Country, we're literally the #1 VA lender in the state of Washington. Yeah, at this branch.
Yeah, which is amazing. So when we think about that, because we do have so many military families that are moving into the area because of its proximity to JBLM, if you're in that situation as a military family, we really do have a wonderful resource for you to connect with to make sure that you get what you need and make sure you get into the home that you're looking for. So, hey, Malcolm, I just really want to say thanks for taking the time. I know he's busy. He's got a lot going on. He's actually rushing off to a meeting right after this, and we sequestered him. I just wanted to use kind of a governmental term there to help us get going. So I appreciate your time, my friend.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
That was really fun. We got a lot of good information from Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm is a wealth of information and gives you the insider scoop of what's taking place, which is kind of fun because it was really great talking with Malcolm off camera because he brought me up to speed on some of the things that are happening in the development stage, but will be coming out in the next couple of years that will enrich the lives of the people who choose to call Lacey their home. New parks, some new walkways, things that are getting developed, some business opportunities that are going to be coming. So if you're thinking about this, you're going to have some really good options coming down the pike.
Yeah, for sure. And we love that we have that little insider hookup with Malcolm because it's not often that you can just reach out and talk to your city government. So having that relationship with Malcolm is really awesome. So from here, we are going to take you to the area that we're already in, which is called Hawks Prairie and Meridian Campus. And this is the northernmost part of Lacey. It's on the north side of I-5. And this area has mostly been developed from 2000s on. Most of the homes are going to be in HOA style neighborhoods. And there is also some really great new development happening in regards to fun stuff and good tasting stuff. 23 kitchens is not what it sounds like. It is not 23 actual kitchens. It's actually a pickleball area, and it has 22 pickleball courts and 1 restaurant, and it's super fun. They've got indoor and outdoor space. They've also got some other activities going on. They've got concerts that happen here, all kinds of competitions. It's super fun. And then also in the same area, there's new restaurants that have gone in. We've got Smashed Halal Burger. We've got Super Chicks, which we really like.
I actually really like Super Chicks. It's delightful. And if you're into the ice cream, you've got
the Humble Cow, which is the second one in our area. They're doing so well, they had to expand. So you can go play pickleball, you can get some food, you can get some ice cream. What else is there?
I don't know. I've never heard of a hottie cow, but you've definitely got a Humble one now. So now that you know.
So from this fun little area, we are going to take you into the neighborhoods of this Meridian Campus and Hawks Prairie area. In this area, you are going to notice that we're going to be driving through some what looks like commercial space and industrial space, and in fact, you are.
Yeah, in your mind, you could be thinking commercial industrial space. Ooh, I don't want to live by any of that. Well, how they've done it in Lacey is fantastic. Everything is clean, vast majority of it is new, it is well maintained, and because of that, you kind of just drive through and really don't notice it, and then you open up into all these wonderful residential communities.
And one of the other things that they did really well in this area is they planted beautiful trees. Of course, they had to take some down to do all the construction, but they put up some beautiful trees, and especially ones that have gorgeous foliage in the fall. So this area is so wonderful to drive through in the fall.
You know, the price point is somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000 for most of the homes in the area. Obviously, you're going to be able to find some more expensive than that. You're not going to find a ton less than that, although there are some. So you'll be on the lookout depending on what your budget is. But for a West Coast town, the affordability is absolutely fantastic. The average price is $540,000. So that is below the Olympia area and well below almost half of what it is in Seattle.
In this area, it's also really convenient to the freeway. So like we had mentioned, a lot of people move to Lacey because they want to have the convenience of the freeway and getting north. This is kind of that northernmost point. And so getting back on the freeway is really easy. And if you are stationed at JBLM, this is the spot that you probably will be spending some time looking for houses in. In fact, there are quite a few families that are stationed there that live here because of the close proximity.
Yeah. Also, what you're going to find is homes that turn over quite often. Certain communities really are slow to turn over, like areas at Olympia that are harder to get into if you really want to, more expensive and challenging. Here it's really nice because there are other military families. There's an expectation of every few years you're going to have a new option of homes, which always gives something for you to take a look at that might fit your budget and exactly what you're looking for.
And if you are thinking that there's a potential you may hold on to your house later and use it as a rental, then this is a great area for that too, because there's always families that are needing to find a rental that are being stationed at JBLM for a couple of years, and they are fantastic renters by and large.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful people.
There's a beautiful park just right off the road. It's the main park that most people use, but besides that, there is also 2 golf courses.
So if you like to say to yourself, 4, you'll have options to do that in a couple different locations. Now, the great thing about one of the golf courses is that it does have houses around it. The nice thing about that, if you're looking for a bigger home that is on a golf course because yours is the destination, maybe for holidays or special family events that you do, those homes sometimes a little bit more expensive, but also have the extra bathroom, have extra space. Also, you can just sit out your back window and watch people who are really bad at golf to make you feel better about your golf game. So lots of options for you there just to build your self-esteem if needed.
So for instance, there was a home that sold on Caddyshack Drive, which is very appropriately named. And this house sold for $1,090,000, and it was 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, so plenty of bathroom space for all of your visitors. And it had over 3,400 square feet, so lots of space. Beautiful, obviously, as you can see here in the photos. It's a really great home. Another thing that you're gonna find here, besides the homes that are in the typical neighborhood in that $5 to $750 price ranges, you're gonna find some houses that are potentially on a little bit larger lots, about 1/2 an acre or more. For example, this house sold in the last year on about 3/4 of an acre. It was around 2,900 square feet. It was actually 5 bedrooms. And as you can see, the yard is really expansive and beautiful. So if you're looking for a place where you can stretch out a little bit and not quite have these tight, smaller HOA neighborhoods, that's available here. You may end up having an Olympia address, however, because as we mentioned before, Lacey stretches out long and then Olympia is all around it, unincorporated Olympia. So some of the addresses out here, you're like Lacey, and then the next door neighbor is Olympia. But there are definitely in this greater Hawks Prairie area, a lot of homes that are on larger lots, which if that's important to you, you're gonna be happy to find something out here. Another thing that's really fantastic about this area is that we are located very close to 2 fantastic parks that are in Thurston County. One of them is the Nisqually Wildlife Refuge, and we love it.
That one is fantastic. It's got a boardwalk out over the estuary. It's got a nice little gazebo at the end of it that you can walk out to, but there are birds, there are little ponds along the way. It is just a fun, nice nature walk type of experience that, I don't know, just is really delightful. And the other big delight about it, because it's on a boardwalk, you don't have to just tramp around in the mud. I'm all for tramps around in the mud. However, sometimes you just don't want to, and here's a good option for you.
Yeah, it's fun. And also there's Tolmy State Park in this area, and both of these have Olympia addresses, but like we said, it's right here on the border of Lacey, really close to you. And Tolmy State Park is a beautiful park with a wide open beach, so you'll see it, people out there in the summer, you know, digging in the sand and playing with their kids and playing in the water. And also there's some great trails as well, so if you want to do a little bit of hike, a little bit of time on the beach, and if you want to get in and swim, I have a friend who goes out there every month and swims, no matter if it's cold or not. So you can get out in the water and swim, do a little scuba diving even. There's a lot to do in that. So we absolutely love the parks in this area.
The nice thing about Puget Sound in this area, we don't really have great white sharks. So if you were like me growing up and being afraid of jaws, nothing to fear. From my understanding, killer whales don't eat people. So you've got just a lot of good options out there, throwing it out there.
Besides that, you also have a really great view of Mount Rainier from that park.
You do.
So this has been fun, hasn't it? You have discovered all of Joe's fears, and you have also discovered all the things about Lacey. And if you're thinking that you may want to explore more, then feel free to reach out to us on that number below. Just call us or text us, or you can use one of the links in the description to jump on our website or to ask us a question. We would love to connect with you. And if this video has been helpful, just keep watching. Here comes another one.